Hello, hello. Greetings and welcome to another resin tutorial. So, I have been working with Famo wood. I've been working with Famo wood for maybe 4 or 5 years, and in my previous 3 videos, part 1, part 2, part 3, I used Famo wood to make some round resin art. So those are behind me. I don't know if you can see them, but the videos are on my YouTube channel. So normally I use Famo wood. It is a glaze coat from Home Depot. Amazon sells it as well, but I am stalking my front door waiting on UPS to deliver some new resin. So I wanted to get this video started because I'm like, where's my resin? Where's my resin? I'm just like waiting on them to ring the doorbell, or for my phone to bling. For my phone to bling? Not bling. For my phone to beep beep to let me know, my phone to alert me that I have a package outside and it will be my resin. So I just wanted to get started really quick, just because my table is more clean in this video. This is normally how I work. Previous videos, my table was a mess. It was a mess. But I wanted to show everybody how I work from the beginning. Sometimes you walk into your creative studio or your creative space and it's a mess. So that's why I recorded that video in that fashion. But today, as soon as my resin gets here, I will be doing more dirty pours, more resin artwork in these, and I have some ideas. The ones that I did in the last video, it was kind of just, I had ordered these and I was excited and I just wanted to pour. So they came out good, but I know that I can do better. So that's what we'll be doing in this video. So when I come back on camera, I will hopefully have some new resin and we will make some resin art. How about that? So stay tuned. As soon as the resin arrives, I will come right back on camera and we'll get started. Just checked the mail and my box is here. Resin has arrived and I think my scissors. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. My scissors were stuck from resin. Oh, I'm so excited that this finally came, you guys. So excited, I'm slobbing on myself, Lord. And once I get it open, I will show you what new resin I am using. Okay, scissors. Okay. This is like an unboxing. It's got a lot of not aluminum foil. It's got newspaper. And see, I'm glad I have a garbage can this time. They have a lot of good newspaper in there. I'll try to recycle that as well. All right. Oh, they sent. Okay, I'll show all of it once I get it out the box. They sent so much nice stuff. Okay, that'll be my new garbage can over there. Hello, 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 hello. So, I was in front of this camera about 5 hours ago, and I told you guys I was waiting and waiting and waiting for UPS to deliver my new resin. So, that is what I have. I will show y'all what I'm using. And it is Total Boat. Total Boat Tabletop Total Boat Tabletop Epoxy. So what I decided to do, I've done a lot of research and I was fine using my Famo wood. I loved my Famo wood, but I was looking for a way to get bigger amounts of resin, and Total Boat, I found a coupon and I will link it below. It's from another YouTuber that I absolutely love. She's a woodworker and resin worker or resin artist, and she had a coupon code that is good until the end of 2019. So I will link to her video so that you can get the code from her video. So I decided to go with the tabletop epoxy because it was the cheapest option. But next time, depending on how I like this, I'll try some of their other products. So this is going to be exciting because I've never used Total Boat before, but I know that it is measured. You know, one thing that I didn't see? I didn't see instructions. Did I overlook oh, no. Oh. Okay, so, okay, it's okay. They didn't send any instructions. On the back, it does have instructions for use. So, let me pull both of these. And I noticed in the last video when I was editing that my elbows were really ashy. So if my elbows are ashy when I'm reaching for stuff, forgive the ash. Just forgive it. Okay, so A and B. These are warm. So I've been following this package all the way from Rhode Island last week. So it was out for delivery today at about 7:59. So it's been in a hot truck all day long and it is warm, which is a good thing because I won't have to turn my AC down because it's already warm and ready to go. So part A, a thin seal coat should first be applied. If any, and then add any objects that will be embedded. Okay, mixing and handling. For best results, this product should be used at 70 to 80 Fahrenheit. Combine the epoxy part A and hardener B at the specific mix ratio of 1:1 by volume and mix for 3 to 5 minutes or until mixture is thoroughly blended. Take care when mixing not to incorporate excessive air in the mixture. Always use clean, dry tools for mixing and applying. Flood coats will flow and self-level, but tools such as brushes, plastic spreaders, and squeegees may be used to help spread the mixed epoxy resin. Okay, sounds simple enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these on up. Let me use the box that they sent for my garbage can now. And I got, this is a gallon total, 5.5. And they also sent, how sweet, they sent some gloves, and you know, I can always use extra gloves. They sent a squeegee and mixing cups. Like, I don't know what to say. So I was going to use the mixing cups that I got from Amazon, but these are so small. Sometimes you know how you buy stuff online and you don't completely read the description. So they may have said in the description that these are tiny. Oh, okay. It says 100 milliliters. ML, I think, is milliliters. I'm not good at math like that. Well, I'm not good at math. So I thought that these were bigger, but they are 100 millimeters is tiny. That's tiny. Okay. So we will put these up and we will use the ones that Total Boat sent, because Total Boat seems to be amazing at this point. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I am going to be using, again, these, and I'll zoom in when need be. I'll speed up when need be, but I'm going to do a pour in these. And then I also have this little bitty one. And I love this because it makes, and this time I actually have some of the little pieces that I've made with that one. So it makes those little ones. And I'll zoom in. I wish my camera was closer. I'll zoom in. So it makes those. So I really could, I don't know how many of those I have, but I could actually do a border of those like that. That would be pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'll put those over there and I'll put this there, because sometimes you don't know how much resin you're going to use or need, so it makes sense. Now, when it comes to mixing, if it's 1-to-1 by volume or ratio, you can really pour into just one and measure it from where I am to what would be double that. So to not waste my other new cup, that is what I'm going to do. So let's see, we have part A, and it says between 70, oh, safety. They sent me gloves and I just get so excited. You forget your gloves, you forget to turn the fan on. All right, oh, these gloves fit. Thank you, Toto Boat. Thank you so much for gloves that fit. Those gloves I used in my last video, I could barely move my hands. All right, so we will take this off. Oop. Or we'll just go in there. Okay, so before I start pouring, I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so I am going to pour 6 and then 12. So let me turn it that way, even though I won't be able to see it that way, but that's okay. I'll just turn it around. I can kind of see it through it. 6. That was a little bit more than 6. I'm just so happy to have a bigger size resin. Like, excited is not the word. Okay, so I went more like 7 ounces. So we will do 7 ounces on the hardener. Ooh, oh, it was ready. So if we're doing 7 and 7, that's like 14. All right. Okay. And I already spilled some, which, ugh. Okay, so there it is. Look at it. It has solidified in the cup and it is still smoking. Oh my God, I gotta get out of here before the fumes take over my house. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Do you see this face? So, it has been 24 hours or so since I've been in my creative studio, because as you can see, my resin almost caught on fire a couple of hours ago, or 24 hours ago. So I wanted to come back on camera. I did not want to leave that video with that suspenseful smoking resin. I didn't want to do that. So I waited a couple of hours, well, 24 hours, to come back in and show you guys what happened and to talk about my mistakes, because as an artist, you make mistakes. You can be a professional, you can be an amateur, even professionals make mistakes. So I don't feel bad about the mistake, but it was user error, and it was something that could have been avoided. So as you know, in that video, well, it's the same video, duh. I talked about how warm the resin was when I got it. That was not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. Resin, before you get started, so tip number 1, to avoid making the mistake that I made with my resin smoking and all the fumes. Ugh. So your resin should be like room temperature or colder. It is always safe, I'm not gonna say always, but it is safe to do a warm bath to warm it up. But it didn't even cross my mind. Tip number 2, I could have put it in a cold bath to bring the temperature down, but like I said, it didn't even cross my mind to do that, because I was like, oh, it's warm, this is good, I should have enough time to pour, you know, before it actually hardens. I had no idea, y'all, that it was that it was gonna harden that fast. So those are my first 2 tips. Third tip is patience. Patience. That should be number 1, but I'll make it number 3. Patience. Like, I was moving so fast. As y'all know, I could not wait for my resin to arrive, and as soon as it arrived, I didn't waste any time. Like, literally, when I got on camera with that resin, it was still in the box. So, patience. So, on that note, I just really wanted to kind of give you guys a follow-up to what happened to the resin that hardened. Well, let me rewind. So, I ended the last part of this video with me showing that it was smoking, and I think I said something like, I need to get out of here because before the fumes take over my house. Like, that's where I was at with those fumes in that moment. It was bad. So, I bagged the resin up. I mean, it was already hard, so I bagged it up and took it outside. Now, that may not have been the wisest idea, but, you know, I mean, sometimes we're not always wise. I ended up taking it outside and checked on it like every hour to make sure that it didn't catch on fire. Like I said, I now know that I could have just... Am I recording? Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to get it out of the house because the fumes and the smoke, I've never had resin smoke before like that. So it was scary because this was my first time using Total Boat. And that's tip number 4. When you are working with a new resin epoxy product, patience. Like, patience, I'm gonna like put patience all across the screen, all across my face, all across my chest, because had I just paused and thought about the fact that I've never used this epoxy before, I don't know how it's going to react. I didn't know, and I was just so excited to start playing around with it that I jumped in, and that was my mistake. So it's nothing on Total Boat. I am going to do a brand new video in the next couple of days reviewing Total Boat, and I'm going to pour way smaller. That is tip number 5. When you are using a resin that you've never used before, pour smaller amounts. Like, I came in here and I think I poured 16 ounces. 16 ounces is a lot of ounces. So if you have 3 of your molds and they're this large that you want to do, my suggestion and my tip would be to pour 1 and then pour the other 2. That should give you enough working time so that, you know, your resin doesn't harden. So, without further ado, I will show you what happened to the resin that caught fire. Okay? Let me come closer. Let me come closer. Okay. You see that? Focus. That is, it hardened, I mean, and it cracked. I hope y'all can see that. Let me turn it. Look at that. I have not touched it. Oh, okay, it's not tacky. So what I'm gonna do with this is I'm going to break it up and use it as little, you know, crystal resin pieces so it doesn't go to waste. So that's that. There's a bug in here because I put it outside, but that is what the resin looks like, hardened. I might be able to even get some of that out and do something with it, but it's rock hard. Rock hard. So, needless to say, do not make my mistake. And then I'm handling all of this without my gloves. Like, my safety today is just out the window, and that's not a good thing. But that's basically what happened. So take my tips, you know, don't make the same mistake that I made, because I wasted 16 ounces of resin. I'll be able to save some of this, and I may be able to also break that up and do something with it. But oh no, that's no, that's in there is gone. So that is the end of this video. Stay tuned for more. I am going to finish the piece that I was working on last night that I didn't get a chance to finish because of the epidemic. No, not epidemic. Because of the tragedy. No, it wasn't a tragedy. Because of the circumstances. Let's just say circumstances of my mistake last night. Totally my mistake. Not going to blame it on Total Boat by any means. I mean, for the most part, I liked the resin. I liked how it poured. I liked how it poured. I liked how it mixed. I like everything that they sent. So, you know, nothing on them. It was user error. So on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad I was able to come back and kind of clear up what happened and finish out what happened, so that it wasn't just like a cliffhanger. Like, you know, I mean, did she burn her house? Did she burn her house down? Is she in the hospital? What happened? So I'm fine. I laid down that night and I prayed and I said, Lord, please don't let these fumes take me over, you know, in the middle of the night, because literally before I go, I could feel like, and it may have just been my mind playing tricks on me, but I could feel like the fumes in my nose and my chest. It was bad. So like I said, be careful. Resin is nothing to play with. You know, you see all these videos of people working with epoxy and resin, and oh, you know, we're making things and we're making this and we're making that. But it's a hardcore stuff. So even though I've been working with it for several years, I still make mistakes. And I could have not posted this video and kept my mistake to myself, but I figured, why not? Because if I can help somebody not make the same mistake and not waste as much resin as I wasted and not have the fumes and the smoking of the resin, I'm totally okay with being that person to show you what not to do in that situation. So on that note, I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'm okay though. And my resin, you know, it's not okay, but everything is okay. Thanks.